Did you guys think that you got rid of me? I mean, right away I see a comment that says, "Oh my God, he has returned." Well, of course, I just had a busy day yesterday. I had to get shit done. Oh, and boy, was it busy. I was navigating my way yesterday through a very, very busy day, and I cannot wait to tell you about it. Oh, and it was victory after victory until victories sandwiched a setback. Okay, that's like the preview. You're not going to believe this. See, some of the folks are already commenting about an on-time start. That is, that's like 7 days in a row. I'm actually keeping track of an on-time start. Yes! Oh, I'm ready. And I don't know how today because I woke up with a headache like you wouldn't believe. In the middle of the night, I started I don't know if it was a side effect. I got a shingles vaccine yesterday. I got a shingles vaccine and a flu vaccine during my physical. And I got the sore arm going. Oh, God. And the headache. Yeah, man, it's because it's a vaccine. It's because you're going to get screwed up, man. It's unproven. You got a shingles vaccine. You're going to die, man. You idiot. My name's Dirk. I'm an asshole. You're not really. Just giving you shit. You know, that's all I do. Okay. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Brought to you by A&E Heating and Cooling. Got the rare third cup of coffee before the show starts. It's always got to be cuppa coffee. That's how I say it. A&E Heating and Cooling. Okay, so I've been talking about this device called the Remy Halo for quite some time, and there have been more and more of you that have had that thing installed, and then you're like, my gosh, this is absolutely a dream. Joe installs that thing for Zane Show listeners for $650, and then, I don't know, in about 15 minutes, you're like, man, something's up in this house. The electromagnetic lights are eliminating viruses, particulates in the air. When I say viruses, I mean even COVID. Any type of bacteria, things that you don't want in your lungs, okay? And then those things turn into harmless hydrogen peroxide plasma. Not kidding. I read it all. This is how they do it. After the particulates hit the light, they're transformed, okay? And then those hydrogen peroxide particulates, they like bind together and they float around through the air in your home until they come back through the system and hit the furnace filter. And then every month you pull out the furnace filter, throw it away, and put a new one in. Your air is cleaner. Voila. 616-516-8579 for Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling. Hang on, I need to take a drink of coffee. It's going to be like that this morning. I still got this headache. The coffee helped, but man, I don't know. Hang on. I'll be drinking this morning. Get the trying to shake these cobwebs out. Oh. Thanks again to Blue Frost IT. Trevor says Eric's going to be taking potty breaks for sure, drinking all that coffee. I don't know. Have you ever had your first couple of drinks of coffee or cups of coffee, and then you can actually you don't pee, but then as soon as you do, you like break the seal, and then you got to pee like every 10 minutes. You know, my cousin John in the house. What's up, buddy? Nick says not an on-time start, an on-time stot. Of course, New England. Okay. Where was I? My pals over at Blue Frost IT. Now, the beauty of them, a full-spectrum IT consulting and support company able to offer a broad range of services to their clients to ensure all aspects of their network is managed and secure. So if you are the man or the woman, or you work for the woman or the man, remember Blue Frost IT. Anything at all, tech-wise, they can help you. Network administration, new office setups and moves, office rewires, network drops, network wall jacks. This is who you call the number one rated managed IT service provider in the entire state, and damn sure all of West Michigan is Blue Frost IT. can take care of all of these amazing things for you hourly as needed from month to month. Project, they can be small or large projects, or the managed aspects of their network. You can have them all managed by them with a service contract. All you got to do is reach out to them and get more information. 616-200-8550. 616-200-8550. info@bluefrostit.com if you want to chat with them. Okay? bluefrostit.com is also their website. All right. As always, the show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. It is the 3rd of March, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Yes, hello. Sean Gotti here, coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina. And there's not a single radio show around here that's worth a damn. So I'm listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, coming to you live Monday through Friday. So sit back, get your trays in the upright position, feet and elbows out of the aisle, because here he comes, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Sean in Raleigh. I appreciate that, buddy. It is a daily show, yeah, where he talks about news and nonsense and his personal adventures, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And a lot of that coming up today. Thank you so much for being here on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you could, please share it. It's very, very helpful. Share it. Give me a like on that deal. And off we go on Facebook. Thank you. That's where the show happens live each and every morning at about this time. Also, a couple other spots where it's live. Twitter. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter, if you want to be a follower of that. If you could, retweet the show as it's playing right now with a snarky comment. That would be fun. Maybe a like on that too. Thank you. And then on YouTube, the almighty YouTube. Wait a minute, I got ahead of myself. Twitter is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Thank you to them. And then on the almighty YouTube. YouTube is brought to you by F45 Byron Center, Michigan. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Eric Zane Show. Hit the bell notification so you know when I go live. And then the thumbs up button. That's all you need to do. And then, of course, the podcast downloadable from any of the podcasting platforms. That's what makes it a podcast. The controversy continues about whether or not you call it show or podcast. And I'm like, I don't even know anymore. I can't be like wavering. John reached out. What did John say? John made a comment. Seems like everybody's throwing their 2 cents in on this damn thing. The next time someone says you don't do a podcast, and once I say that, Rick says, I never said you didn't do a podcast. I said you got to call it a show. Whatever. He says, refer them to the dictionary definition of a podcast, which states that it is defined by the ability of listeners to download it to listen on a personal device. If you only did a YouTube or Facebook live stream and it couldn't be downloaded, then it's a show. I don't know. I'm confused now. I guess it's a show and a podcast. It's like, is the moon the planet or is the moon the moon, right? It's kind of both. It's a show in podcast form or show form. I don't know. I'm confused. Hang on. I got to finish this coffee before it gets too cold. Drink it if you got it. Talk amongst yourselves. Hang on. I hate doing this in front of you. I did it. I'm done. I'm ready. I am ready. But I was really concerned about this morning, you know? I mean, I just woke up. I just don't sleep well anymore. And I think it has to do with this this medicine I take for my anxiety. In fact, I know it is. It is hold on. Rick writes, the moon is not a fucking planet. The fuck it isn't, you fucking dope. What do you think it is? A star? It's a rocky entity floating through the fucking universe. It just happens to orbit our planet. Thus, it's a moon, but it is a planet. How many times I got to go through this shit with you guys? It's not a planet? Well, what is it? Tell me. Is it a fucking house slipper? You dumbass. A moon can be, a moon is a planet. All moons are planets. If not, they're a planetoid or an asteroid that has a moon-like quality around Saturn and shit. Come on! And then fucking Nick gets involved with it. It's a satellite. A satellite? Okay, fine. Call it a satellite too. But it's a fucking planet. You assholes. Way to go. And then Maze gets involved. Everybody's turning on me. Bullshit. Oh my God. All right, let's get into this shit right now. Is the moon a planet? Everybody asks that question. Yeah. Universe today. What makes a planet a planet? The moon is so big compared to the Earth, roughly a quarter of the Earth, that occasionally you'll hear our system being referred to as a double planet. Is this correct? I guess somebody's asking. And we all remember how quickly the definition of a planet changed in 2006 when Pluto was made to like planetoid. Or I don't know what the hell they called it. So can the moon stay the moon, or is the definition subject to change? First, it's important to understand what the official definition of a planet is. According to the International Astronomical Union, in its words, according to a vote in Prague in 2006, the union has this definition. All right, this is going to be it right here. And I haven't pre-read this, so I have no idea if I'm right or I'm wrong. That has never stopped me from throwing even if these guys tell me I'm wrong, I'm going to tell them they're wrong. Remember, 90% wrong. How do you guys say it? 90% wrong, 100% of the time. 90% wrong, 10% right, believes he's right 100% of the time. Shut up. A planet is a celestial body that is in orbit around the sun. A is in orbit around the sun. B has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium, nearly round shape. And C has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. What this means is that a planet must move around the sun and not move around something else. That it's massive enough to have a round shape due to gravity, and that it will swoop up any dust or debris in its orbit as it moves around the sun. But let's be clear. The IAU definition of a planet is not without controversy. There's a strong contingent of people who say that Pluto is indeed a planet. Well, I don't want to hear about Pluto, dicks. I want to hear about the moon. The moon is not a unique phenomenon in our solar system in the sense that there are other planets that have satellites around them. Jupiter and Saturn have dozens. Referring again to the IAU, the union also said in 2006 that it does not consider Charon, Charon, a dwarf planet despite its large relative size to Pluto. Man, they're not really telling me. Is this the type of thing where they're like, well, everybody knows this, that the moon is a moon and not a planet, so we're not even going to address it, you stupid ass? One question to consider is if the moon's barycenter is inside the Earth. And you see, now it's above my pay grade. The answer right now is yes, but over time that barycenter will move outside of Earth. That's because the moon is slowly receding from our planet at a rate of 3.8 centimeters a year. It'll take a long time, but eventually the center of our system's mass will not be within our planet. Okay. I've basically gone over this whole article, and these nerds cannot tell me yes or no. Says, so for now, the Earth, here it is. Shit. For now, the Earth is a planet and the moon is a satellite. Fucking Nick. At least under IAU rules. Shit. 90% wrong. That sucks. All right, so it's a moon. So it's not a planet. Looks like a planet. Smells like a planet. Floats like a planet. Not a planet. It's a satellite. Fucking Nick. This is not a good thing. Nick being right. Okay, this is just terrible. Maze, he's rubbing my face and shit. Way to go, guys. Thanks so much. Marcy says Captain Caveman gets it right. Oh. Dean says, surprise, surprise. Eric is wrong again. Shut up, jackasses. Today is not the day for this, all right? I got so much to talk about today. I've got three emails of the day. Cannot wait to get to those. It's going to lead to a lot of fun conversation. Hang on. I've got the word on Seuss, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going to be like, Eric is going to be on the wrong side of this. He's going to say, cancel Seuss. You're right. I am going to say that. But not without, I actually did research. I swear to God, I am not just doing like the previous conversation about the moon and the planet. Because for me, when I heard that Seuss was canceled, I combined anal and canceled. When I saw that Seuss 6 books were not going to be published, I was like, wait, what's up? How could this possibly be? In fact, I've got a copy of his first book here. I think I saw it on Mulberry Street, and I opened it up to the problem. Near the end of the book, there's a depiction of an Asian dude with a conical hat, slanty eyes, holding a bowl of rice with chopsticks and traditional Asian garb. And so I did not think, I'm like, well, who gives a fuck? I mean, I don't give a shit about that because, I mean, that was, and my thought was, well, that was way back then. I mean, you can't look at stuff from back then under the lens of today. You just can't do it. So I was a little concerned about that and a little concerned about this. And so I just want you to hear me out. Before you guys start slinging shit on the chat, I just want you to chill. And because I didn't believe this, I mean, I actually read, I swear to God, a research paper. I read a full research paper about Theodore Geisel. Okay. And what I read, I can promise you, you don't know about. I'd never heard of this because in my mind, Theodore Geisel is sitting there, as wholesome as, what's that guy's name? Mr. Rogers, and is just a sweet old man. And he just wrote these kids' books, and he wrote what he did. Hold on a second. Dirk says, did you just say you can't judge the past through the lens of today? Concerning this, not everything. I don't want you to get the wrong idea because I've talked about other things that you can do that and you can't do that. But when it comes to like him walking down the street with the Chinaman bull, because it says, here's a Chinaman. And I think I saw it on Mulberry Street. It actually says that. I'm like, well, we can't really judge just on this. Okay. That was my opinion. It's not enough evidence. However, what I read about Theodore Geisel is going to make you go, what? Are you serious? Oh, so this is just fucked. You are not going to believe this is, I am shocked that anything written by Theodore Geisel, it's taken up to March 2nd, 2021. Today's the 3rd. It started to hit really intensely this week. Ooh, I don't know. This is not good. Derek, did you read that research paper I sent you? Did you even read that? Or did you look at your QAnon shit? It might help to read now and then. Jonathan says, seems to me if the Seuss Foundation wants to pull their books considering how they are viewed today, they can do that. Yes, and they did. They did. But when I read to you the excerpts of the actual words of what Seuss himself said, nobody knows this shit. Nobody has taken the time to do what I'm going to do with you on this show. I promise you. And all I'm saying is before you cast judgment, you got to listen to this shit. Because, again, I was under the impression that, okay, yeah, a couple of books have, the book was written in the 40s or the 30s. I understand what the hell is going on there. And boy, I mean, I don't know, maybe like a disclaimer at the beginning of it or something like that, but don't just cancel the damn book, right? Oh, boy. Okay. So I'm going to get to that. Dear Meathead happens. I need questions. Okay. I do need questions for Dear Meathead. I think I got some left over from the other day. But yeah, if you could send along a question for my dad, Dear Meathead, brought to you by JM Synthetics. Okay. That will happen in 39 minutes for Dear Meathead. Send him along, Eric@ericzaneshow.com. But first, my day yesterday. Okay. Now, I had a super busy day yesterday, so I put the best of show out. And my God, I went back and listened to the Kenny and my dad and Joanne drama of the TV. And it was just a joy to hear that again. Holy crap. I hope you like the best of. But why was I gone? The specifics of the day. I knew that this would come out. I knew that, yesterday was a super busy day. And at one point during the day, I was with this young man who I'm kind of, I'm sponsoring him and kind of like a mentor to. I'm going to keep the name on the down low. Some of you know the name, but just keep it off the chat by the request of the individual. But out of the blue, the person who I'm working with said, hey, if you ever want to talk about this on the podcast, you're more than welcome to. I know you kind of like you talk about a lot of personal stories on your show. If this is something you think the audience would be interested in, by all means. I go, oh, okay. Well, I mean, there are some parts of it like I would share, but other parts I won't. There's an anonymous element to it, which would remain that way. But as you all know, I've had like a lot of moments recently where things present themselves to me, and I get the notion in my brain, well, if I don't do something, who will? And that's what I based kind of like the idea of the kidney donation. It's like if I, with the information I have, if I or Diana say I am not going to try to help, someone dies. And that's exactly what would have happened. There would have been a dead person, and there's like, over my dead body, will I let that happen? So there we are. And here we sit now, down a kidney, and everybody's happy. So I continuously have had these things happen to me. And you're all in this with me. It was on display the other day with Captain Bizarro. When before I could even think about it, the Zaniacs were like, let's help Captain Bizarro get his store in organized. It's just a really simple gesture. And he was so moved by that. So I was like, well, okay, that's another great example of that. Well, it happened again a few weeks ago. And some of you might know this story, so I'll just get you caught up if you don't know. I'm walking through Costco, and I see an old family friend who she used to go to the youth hockey games. Her son played hockey with Jim, my son. So I had a feeling that the kid, I had seen him a few times at like Griffin's games with his mother. And I was under the impression over the years that he was kind of falling off the page. Something was wrong. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something was off. And it turns out that it was. He was using drugs. And so this came to a point, and this is why I don't chalk anything up to accident. We encounter this mother, and I ask, how's so-and-so? And she says, not good. He's in jail right now. He tried to break into my house. He needed money for meth. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm leaving him in there. I go, okay. All right. Well, sometimes it takes someone who's not the parent to get a specific thing that they want the young person to do. It takes not the parent to get them to that point. Take that step. So if you need anything, I'd love to talk to you. And that was it. I felt bad right away because I should have right there gotten a phone number, but I didn't. So I kind of like half-assed it. And I knew it. Went home. About a week passes, and I thought of her again. And I went, I can't just throw that. So you're like, where was I? Where the hell was I? Okay. Boy, I don't know where the feed cut out, so I'm not sure what you saw. But the feed did cut out. You're like, what happened? Oh my God, it froze. Okay. So there's a thing that's plugged into the wall that is key to the internet. And I think one of the dogs ran into it or something, because when I was troubleshooting after I lost my show, I was like, what the hell? Oh my God. The thing was laying on the ground. So I was like, God, that was it. So I plugged it back in, had to get all of my, because I had shut down the computer thinking, restart. Isn't that what people say? Restart the computer and it'll work great. I had done that. So I had to like reopen everything. It was a huge, God. Man, it's beyond my control. Beyond my control. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I'm curious about is when what you guys saw. Did you see me go because Jackie scared the hell out of me? Oh, did you actually see when I interacted with Jackie? I'm curious. No, I don't know whose fault it was, because that's the question. Was it Jackie's fault? Well, I don't know. All I know is I was sitting here, and then I was scared to death, and it says Jackie was standing behind you. Oh, so you missed it. You missed where it. Shit. Too bad for you, because as she continued to walk in, boy, I have no idea. Maybe she bumped the thing on the way in, And Melinda says, didn't see you jump. We need a reenactment. It froze. I looked at the screen and Jackie was right behind you. Oh, what a cliffhanger for you. You missed that. Dude, she got right into my peripheral vision. Now imagine that. I was focused on the story, looking right at you. And then I felt this looming. I'm like, oh, God. And so, that was rough. We need a static, no connection camera for these occasions. That's what it is. It is that. It has to be. It's hooked up. It's hardwired in. But the device that is hardwired in was knocked out of the source somehow. I don't know how it happened. I have no idea how it happened. But man, that is a bummer that you were not able to see that, because I jumped like you wouldn't believe. Whoa! And it's on the audio. I'll have I'll post it in the audio podcast. You'll be able to at least hear the reaction. But man, was that a rough one. And I didn't scream at her, and I didn't swear it. I went, ah! And then I was like, I'm simultaneously scared, but delighted that the audience saw that. Oh, dudes, that was so bad. Oh my God. Oh, and I'm like, I actually, I think I'm going to have to say, honey, you can't do that anymore. I know it's a moment but I might die. I'm concerned about my health, and I hate being scared. I cannot believe you missed that. Shit. Oh, well. All right. Go back and at least listen to it. Put it in your mind's eye. It was right to my right. I was like, oh my God, it was terrible. Get a lock for the door. Not a bad idea. Need to hook a light up to the door that comes on when it's open. Yeah, like I'm going to do that. I'm going to hook up a light. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Now, where was I? I know where I was on the story, actually. A week, I picked this up after, I'm not going to go back. I'm just going to pick it up. Assume that you are not a new person getting this live stream. A week goes by. I haven't said shit to this mom. And I'm like, right away, you offered to help, but then you didn't really do anything. So what's up? I mean, are you going to be one of these people who just says it, and then you're just saying that, and then you don't really do anything? I mean, if you're going to say that, you gotta commit. So I said to Dan, I go, all right, give me so-and-so's phone number. I need to know what's up. Called this mom. I go, what happened? She goes, well, the charge was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor. But the judge said he cannot see me as part of him getting out until he faces the music for this charge. So that's that. Now, that eventually might go away depending on the relationship with the mom. And that's all above my pay grade. I have no idea what's going on there. But all I know is she says, yeah, he's out. He's down and out. Here's his phone number. I call him up. I go, okay, now we're talking about the big problem is methamphetamine with a side of alcohol and a side of pot. None of these things are going to help this young man. This is, let's see, 3 weeks ago today. No, 3 weeks, 2 days ago. today. From today, you go back in time 3 weeks, 2 days. Call him up. And I have no idea where this is going to go. Within seconds of the conversation, I find out that he is couch surfing. He has no home. There's a family member involved. Well, it's a father who is it's a bad influence. It's a bad spot for this person to be in. The father has issues as well, and it is not a healthy environment for someone trying to recover. But he has no idea what to do and nowhere to go. The key things in the story is everything that happened positively was by his own putting that foot forward. So he says to me in the phone call, he goes, I need to go. I need to be checked into a supervised medical rehabilitation setting. I'm white knuckling it. I want to go use drugs. I have no place to stay. I have nowhere to go. I'm screwed. Okay. Long story short, mom has insurance. And the plan was to get him into this one facility in town here for an extended time, working with professionals, supervised, inpatient. So this is all in this conversation. And I'm just worried about getting him where he's going to be sleeping that night. And we secure that. And then when a call is given to this medical facility, they say, yeah, there's a long waiting list. Well, miraculously, the next day, they call back and say, hey, we got a spot for you. Oh, my God. Okay, great. So the key on this was his willingness to, hey, I need help. And that's huge, So, okay, that was Monday night. Tuesday is some planning. Wednesday, pick him up. I detailed some of this to some of you. And then drop off. Okay? So there he goes. And there's rules and regulations. And it's a 7-day period of time. And he calls me. He doesn't have a phone, but he uses like the house phone. Calls me up. Hey, I'm doing okay. And so then the idea is he's with these in this program. And the people are like, we highly recommend a sober house afterwards. So I'm getting ahead of the story. Just prior to him going into this facility, I have not said anything about me being me being an alcoholic, me being. I did not approach him about being a sponsor. This is the next key point. I told him my story when I was the exact same age that he was, which is 25. I had told him about when I got to a point where I was like, hey, I need help. I'm powerless to this, man. I can't do it. I told him that story. And then I said to him, I go, you're an addict and you're an alcoholic and you need to adopt a different lifestyle for the remainder of your life. And he goes, I know. Would you be my sponsor? He actually asked me that. So this is like, I don't want to get too much into the AA thing. That's a fragile thing to talk about. But in the 12th step, that's the last step. You're the people that helped me when I was 25. God bless them. Had I not had them, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'd be dead or in jail or have killed someone. So I'm like, well, absolutely. The hand reaches out, you reach back. Okay, well, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. This is 2 days in. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy has. And he asked me, I didn't bring it up. So that's key. Okay, this is all his doing. I'm so proud of him about this. I watch him walk into the facility. 7 days later, I pick him up. He has made arrangements to live at this really awesome place. It's a sober house. Okay, everybody in there is recovering. Different stages of the recovery. There's a set of protocols and rules you follow in the house. Everybody does chores. Everybody does the work. There's a lot of things in place that you need to meet these requirements to keep living in the house. You fuck it up, boom, you're out. He dives right into that. Nearby, there's a place for him and I to go with some of the other dudes in the house. It's all men, and we're off and running. Part of what is going on also, reason why I'm telling you this is because yesterday we had to go in front of the judge. Dude had gotten a ticket and he never paid it. And then because of that, there was a bench warrant issued, and he got pulled over again because of one headlight, and one headlight, wallflowers. And they go, "Where's your license?" He goes, "I don't have it. Yeah, that's suspended." They go, "Oh, no, or yeah, it's because it was suspended because they didn't pay the ticket." They go, "Oh my God." They go, "Well, all right, this is terrible. You got to go in front of the judge." He blows that off. And now they issue a bench warrant. And I think I told you some of this. So last week, him and I go and we turn him, he turns himself in, and they go, "Okay, post bond right now, $1,000 cash." It's all sorts of details that are like kind of minutia, but important to the story. He still can't see his mom, so she's got the 1,000, or else he's going to go to jail. So God bless the mom. Okay, she's been through the ringer with this guy, and here I am in sponsor mode. Dude goes upstairs. He cannot see the mom. The mom, I go, "Okay, you can come in now," because the judge said you cannot see mom. Mom comes in, pays the money. "Okay, you're free to go." Boom. Yesterday is the arraignment. Him and I walk in. It's a 9 a.m. appearance in front of this judge, and you fill out a form ahead of time, and it says, "Do you want to talk with the public defender?" Check box if you do. Check box if you're just going to plead guilty. Now, I said this to him, but I knew at the same 90% wrong, 10% right, 100 believes he's okay. That whole thing. I go, "Check the box where you say you're going to be guilty." And so he checks it, and then right away I'm like, "Man, I don't know if that's right. I think I've exhausted my knowledge on this topic. I think you should." And then I doubled back, and we walked up the steps. We're going to give it to the bailiff, and I go, "I think you should talk to a lawyer." And that was a good thing. Good thing I listened to that instinct, because then he got the thing back. He rechecked. "I want to talk to the lawyer." And then the lawyer says, "No, you don't plead guilty. You plead not guilty." He's like, "What? Huh?" "Yeah, you plead not guilty. And then since you paid the ticket, which you did, you then go get your license between now and your court appearance. Now you have a license. And then you're just in trouble for failure to appear and driving without a license." Okay? If you plead guilty, you will not get your license back. You will be without your license for 1 full year. So do not plead guilty. Thank God he sat down with her. We go to the courtroom. Judge is like, "Okay," and I'm sitting there in the back, and they go, and the lawyer goes, "Who are you?" I go, "I'm a sponsor." She's "Okay, this is great." So she's getting all this information about him turning his life around, and she didn't have to share that with the judge. Judge is like, "Okay, he's all business." And then he says to dude, he goes, "Okay, first he asks the circumstances why he didn't show up in the first place." He says why. "Okay, great. What do you plead?" "Guilty, Your Honor." and I go, "Uh-oh." And the attorney looks at him and goes, "No, what are you doing? I told you not guilty. You got to say you're not guilty." And because as soon as he said, the judge goes, "What?" Because he knows that that's a bad move. And he goes, "Are you sure about that?" And she goes, "No, Your Honor, he's not sure. I told him to say not guilty." He said, and he goes, "Oh, okay. Okay." Oh my God. So, all right. At that point, that's it. Now he's going to, April 1, going to go before the judge, not guilty plea. It's going to end up, they don't want to deal with this shit. They want you to have your license. They're going to give him a lesser a penalty, keeps the license, but he's walking out of there without a license. We get out of there and we realize we need a release. Holland gives him a release and says, "You, in fact, did pay the ticket." We get that. It frees up the Secretary of State. Boom. By the end of the day, he has a license. He has it. So all of this has happened since the day. All these good things are happening to this young man since he decided that he's got issues, that he's got problems. And so he also got a job. His first day at the job is Sunday. And he cannot, he says, "Okay, I got a license so I can drive a car." I go, let's not throw all these freedoms back at you. Okay? Yeah, you got a license, and there is a car that is available, but let's not just dive into the way it was, because to me, it's kind of like a loaded gun at this point. Let's just focus on staying sober right now. Let's not worry about a car. Well, how am I going to get to work? I go, I'll take you. That's my job. So now Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 12-hour shifts at this place you just got a job at. I go, I'll do it. So I got to be at his place at 5 a.m. And then we go, and then he goes to work, takes the bus home. I come back here and do the podcast. Jackie comes in, scares the shit out of me, and boom. So that's like the new thing. This all happened yesterday. That was all the first part of my day. But it's all good, man. This was an absolutely perfect start to the day. It was so uplifting and fantastic. I'm just so excited for this young man. The fact that he's got a shot, taking the necessary steps to turn his life around. And it's just another one of these adventures. It's just, and my theory on this is, if I'm not going to do it, who's going to do it? And I keep finding myself in the middle of these freaking adventures, and it's just awesome. I'm just so happy. So, all right, that was the first part of my day. Now, my plan was to give you all of this shit because I still got a dog with an ear infection that I had to take care of that. I still got I got to go get a physical by the doc, and then I got to go get my taxes done. All of these things were huge, and my goal was to tell them all to you ahead of time, but I don't have that because it's Dear Meathead time, brought to you by JM Synthetics, online at jmsynthetics.com. All right.
Well, good morning, sir.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
I'm okay, and how about yourself?
Never better. Never better. Today is a really good day. It's sunny. It's a little cold, but it's actually not as cold as yesterday, so I'm happy.
I know. It's amazing how all of this snow melted.
Yeah, Dad, and that's I talked to you yesterday. I understand.
Yes, you did.
I understand you have a and by the way, if the audience if you could Eric at ericzaneshow.com, if you have a question for Dad on Dear Meathead, subject line Dear Meathead, thank you. I talked with you yesterday, Dad, and you have a method because you don't like, is it you don't like to see snow piled up from where it got shoveled or snow blown?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not actually on the cement; it's a pile of snow on the grass.
It's quite a bit of snow that I piled up all around from my driveway and all around it on the side of the house.
Okay.
On both sides.
But it's not on cement, it's on grass?
It's on grass.
Okay. Now and Joanne's there too. I didn't say hi to her.
I'm sorry, go ahead, dear.
Hi, Joanne. Hi, how are you?
Hi, honey.
Now you have been sidled with the job, Dad, of taking shovelfuls of the snow and throwing them onto spots on the grass, right?
Right.
And because you want it to melt faster?
Absolutely. When it's piled up, just the top part of it starts melting. The water goes back down there and freezes. Then it's hard to get off. So I just do what I do, and pretty much everything is cleared up.
Oh, I know. Well, I imagine that it would be. It doesn't have a big pile of snow to keep it extra cold and icy. It's
right. And my muscles on my arms are bigger than hell.
Okay. So, boy, this is like I've never heard anybody who takes the piles of snow that are on the grass and then spread them throughout the lawn to get them to melt.
It does. I get rid of it in a hurry.
Joanna's
trying to.
That's how bored you are.
Yes.
That's how bored I am.
I know you are. And it's really cute to me that you do this, And,
yeah. Well, hey, I just like neatness.
Yes, I guess so. I have never in my life heard about someone taking the pie because it's going to melt anyway, eventually.
Yeah, It does. Hey, it's pretty much disappeared.
Well, I know, but most people don't do what you do. They just let Mother Nature do it.
I know. I got this neighbor next door to me that they shovel their snow, and they have no place to put their snow because they got a small area, and they put it in a ditch, and the ditch is connected to, it's just on my property, but that's what, the ditch doesn't belong to me, belong to the city, but that's okay. And there's a ton of snow over there if you let it go.
Probably get that today.
So today I should be pretty much clear of all all ice and snow and everything else.
Yeah. Have you thought about banging on some doors and saying, "Hey, I've got a new business. It's called Rob's Ice Melting Service."
No, I don't want to do that, but I have an elderly lady down the road from me. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I don't know what the issue is, but she probably has, oh my God, 25 days worth of groceries piled up on the side of their house. And in fact, the police was called on that issue, but it stays there. And she's an individual person. I think she's an elderly person. Don't know what to do. I don't know how all that food got there.
Wait a minute. Did you say the groceries are outside of the home?
Yeah, outside of the home.
Like,
You know, groceries, they're just boxes.
Well, there are boxes full of them. I think it is.
Getting deliveries.
She's getting
I got you.
deliveries all piled up over there.
Man, yeah, you might want to do a well check because sometimes that's a red flag that if the person's not getting the deliveries, they might be there might be something cooking.
Oh, she was out there.
No, she's out there trying to pick up the pieces.
Oh, okay.
I
So
seen them the other day.
all right,
But she's all by herself, the old lady. It's a nice. I've never seen what she's looked like. I know I found her little puppy. I don't know where the heck it was. I carried him all the way up. I knew it belonged to her, and I put him on the porch.
Okay.
And somehow she got a hold of it, and she's got several dogs, I think.
Okay. All right. Well,
but I have something to tell you first of all.
okay, please, Dad.
I want to tell you something about your audience.
Okay.
You know what? I am amazed how this people can be so particularly great people that can talk so nicely about the things I say or I do. Half the time I don't even know what I'm saying. But they are telling me how wonderful it is.
Oh, they love you, Dad. I mean, you've always been a charmer, Dad. I mean, you've always had that ability to charm people.
I don't know about that, but I certainly love the people that are dealing with me. It's just great people.
Of course. They love you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. What was I going to say? I was actually going to bring something
on with the problem.
Yes. Meathead, what is the most embarrassing thing your mother or father ever did to you that you remember? Signed, Mike.
Well, I don't remember too many embarrassing things as far as my dad passed when I was a young kid.
Yes.
I think it was. I don't remember a lot of things, but I do know the bad things.
Uh-oh.
The one bad thing is apparently my dad had, I don't know what he did.
Okay.
He was always dressed with the military pants.
He dressed okay. But
I don't know. I can't tell you what he was, what he did, and all that. But one thing that I do remember, now this is something else. He caught me having my hands in his pants pocket.
Oh, hopefully he wasn't wearing his pants at the time.
No, it was early in the morning or something. He was still in bed or something.
So you were seeing what was in his pants.
I was checking out for. I would want to think that maybe money or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, you were very, very young.
I was very, very young. My punishment was that I was put on a corner of the bed, where the head of the bed is, for a couple of 2-3 days. He punished me to stay there.
What?
Yeah.
You had to stand. You had to stand there for a couple of days.
3 days.
Oh gosh!
But my mom would come in and feed me and do all of these things without telling my dad that he was doing that. And this is the worst thing that I can ever remember about my dad.
Oh no, it's gonna make me sad.
Yeah, well, hey.
Yeah.
You don't fool around with dads, I guess.
I guess. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, what happened?
And I don't remember what the end result was. I mean, this is 100 years ago, like.
Yeah.
So, and then I was thinking, what father would do something like that in this country?
Oh my gosh, yeah. People parented different back then. That is.
But those people out there, they were pretty tough.
Yeah,
Parents were tough.
That's
my mom was a very loving woman.
Yep.
And I was, by the way, one time my dad asked my brother and I to go in the garage. We had a huge garage and get some food that he had bought and bring it in.
Yeah.
And we're just little kids. And when we went in the garage, and I don't know what made us think, I guess we knew about headlights and all that. And I stood in front of his car, and I told my brother, turn the lights on and off,
Yeah.
I guess my dad was waiting for the food. It wasn't showing up because we were playing. He came out there and caught us there.
Yeah.
And I knew what I had to do. I don't know what my brother did. I just ran in the house and I hid under my mom's skirt.
Oh, wow!
Skirt.
I bet that smelled terrible.
No, it wasn't. I don't remember anything of that detail. The detail was he come in there. He says, "Where is Reuben?"
Oh dear. Okay, boy.
And my mom said, "I don't know."
Oh my God, man! That you know what? Yeah.
He probably was going to mess me up.
I don't understand why Grandpa would do that. I mean, it's just you're right. It's a different time, a different era. I mean, nowadays it's no big deal. It's like
my dad was a tough dude.
Right. You just say, all right, come on, get in the house. Don't knock it off. Let's go.
I don't know, something like that. I think he was going to cut my head off.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I am so sorry that you had to deal with that.
But he didn't do nothing.
Oh, thank God.
And we had company. All of a sudden, my dad was sitting there playing cards with my neighbor, with his friends.
Yeah, it probably made you stand on the roof for like 6 weeks or something like that.
He didn't make me do anything.
Oh,
he never.
God. Jeez.
He didn't. Then he forgot it.
All right.
So I don't know why this thing is the biggest thing I ever remember about my childhood. I was scared of him.
Yeah, I know you were. I was never scared of you. Wow.
He was a tough dude.
Okay. Hey, Jonathan writes this here. Dear Meathead, my parents quarantined in their cabin away from family or friends for most of last year because of the coronavirus, and they've got previous health conditions, so they're worried. They said they'd be waiting for vaccines to be available until they would see us again. About 2 months ago, they decided they didn't want to get the vaccines and now just want to go back to living normally without the vaccine. They spent the last month on vacation in Florida. They're now back in Michigan, and they want to hang out like nothing's wrong. Should we try to convince them to get the vaccine or just trust that they made the best decision for themselves? What do you think?
Well, I would say, what part of this don't they understand? That better than 2 or 3 billions of people actually are taking care of themselves, quarantining themselves. What part of that don't they understand?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that they were on board and then they kind of like changed their minds, This
is not going away unless you quarantine yourself. And as it goes, things will go in time. It will diminish with all the vaccinations and all of them.
Hopefully.
Medication that's available. But this is wrong. People do that. No, you got to quarantine yourself.
Okay. All right.
And then if the parents are doing that, what are the children going to do?
Yeah, I mean, you would hate to see the parents get sick and then something terrible happen, and then they
Sure.
I mean, for me, I would, but maybe they're just not worried anymore. Some people are just kind of like over it. It's been 1 year, and they're not like they're kind of like just a little sick and tired of it, and just willing to roll the dice, I guess. I would not, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not right. It really is not right. Now, we also have an issue in here. It's a private issue between you and I and the family. What's your situation of coming down here for my birthday?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that if I kept the mask on. Diana's been vaccinated, and I would just stay away from you. I mean,
what if I say I'd rather you didn't?
Oh, well, then I would honor that. I would be respectful of that. I
really am adamant about that.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, then that's the way it'll be. No big deal. We'll just wait till the time is right. By all means.
Well, I mean, I'm not to a point of mine. I never paid too much attention. To my birthday, and so forth. But what I would like to do is really put that off.
Yep.
And as things go by and summer is coming up and all that, and hopefully everything will be much more normal than it is now, then we'll have a barbecue of our own here.
Okay, fair enough. Especially
and
when
I'd be more than happy to take care of that.
And kind of like you said, when we're in the summertime or the warm months, we can be outside and just stay away from each other,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Really. I mean, I'm not hurting your feelings, am I?
No, man. I totally get it.
All right, now I gotta talk about that to your brother as well.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm sure he'd feel the same way.
Well, I don't know. He's planning on coming down and do my taxes and this and that. And we always did this with the mail. So
yeah, you can do it that way.
If he wants to catch two or shoot two cats at the same time.
Yeah, you mean kill two birds with one stone?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think it's kill two cats at the same time.
Well, this is an Armenian way,
Yeah,
hey.
I know. I love it. Kill two. Hey, we're gonna work twice as hard and kill a couple of cats.
That's right. Make them quit coming around. No, I love cats. Don't kid yourself. I love animals.
Oh, that was great. That was fantastic.
All right, so are you cool with that, honey?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can.
All
yes.
Right, let's do
absolutely. That. Trevor has a question.
First of all, Trevor, how are you doing, my man?
Trevor wants to know if you've been following the story about the Dr. Seuss drama.
Not really, so clue me in on that.
Joanne, had you heard about the Dr. Seuss thing?
No.
Okay. 6 of his books, the kids' books, feature stereotypes of ethnic people, Asians and black people. Like the black people, they got a grass skirt on and the giant lips, and they're made to look like apes. And then the Chinese guys have like chopsticks, and he actually referred to the Chinese guys in the books as Chinamen, which today is a problem. And the family of Seuss, he's dead now, he died in the early 90s, have said that they're not going to publish those books anymore because it's inappropriate. Well, do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, a thought that comes up. First of all, how does he know it's inappropriate to the world that they publish books?
Wait a minute. When you say whom are you referring to?
Dr. Seuss.
Okay. Yeah.
He says inappropriate. How? This is one thing that I really have a difficulty dealing with. When people says you do something and that is inappropriate.
Uh-huh.
All right. It must be inappropriate to me or you or someone else, but a lot of people don't think it's inappropriate and let them do what they want to do.
Okay, so you're saying leave those books alone.
Yeah, what do the white people think about these things?
No, how did he make the white people look?
According to Joanne, how does he make the white people look?
I don't recall anybody complaining.
I mean, one thing I'm really sick and tired of is people are talking about whites and blacks and yellow and people are people.
People are people and cats are cats.
That's right. People are there. Whatever they look like, they have to be liked. This is how you make a country flourish greatly.
Okay.
By people loving people, regardless of what they are. Now, if there are people that are going around shooting your kids and your life, or you're killing your cats and dogs, well, you just keep away from them.
Keep away. Yeah, Dad, that's great advice. Keep away from the people who kill the cats.
Yeah. No.
That's.
I mean, why hate each other?
Yeah.
This is the one thing I despise: people hating people.
Dad, I think you hit the nail on the head. I love that. I mean, with that whole thing about caring for one another, and just remember, don't harm the cats.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, I've lived in this neighborhood for God knows how many years. Everybody that I know almost everybody on this block. We say hello, how are you? They stop and talk.
Yep.
Let me talk to their dogs. There's one guy that I had some issues and we apologized and made up.
Yeah, you made it up. I like that. I
walked right up there and said, listen, I'm sorry about this. I didn't create the problem, but he did. And Joanne thinks I helped.
Well, it happens. I think as long as we take a deep breath and watch what we say, we'll be fine.
Yeah, really. Everyone has an opinion. Now, here's the thing. If an opinion that really is an adverse opinion, and it really is a bad thing, I don't make comments. I don't retaliate. Hey, listen, you're wrong. No. Hey, that's his feeling. Let him go.
Okay. All right.
As long as I don't have to follow it, I'm all right.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree. I think we agree on that. I'm going to talk about Seuss a little later after Dad goes back to feeding the cats, but I'll have my own opinion. Ryan in Nashville, Tennessee writes this. He says, Dear Meathead, I have two boys, age 6 and 4. And he says,
God bless them.
Yeah, he says, I find myself losing my temper and I yell at them when they're misbehaving, especially at the same time. After I put them in a timeout, I feel bad and I say sorry that I did that. Lately, I notice my 4-year-old is yelling and mimicking my bad behavior when he gets angry. Meathead, can you give me some advice on parenting and keeping my cool? P.S. I do not ever physically strike my kids. Thank you. Signed, Ryan.
Ryan, I'm glad you called in. This is my opinion, but I think it's a good opinion. Do not strike your child. And do not just punish him.
He doesn't. Yeah, like just to be clear, he does not do that. He's that's never been part of his of his game plan.
Do not lose your temper and your cool.
Yeah,
trying to teach him with anger.
He wants to know if you have any ways that he can avoid that. He definitely knows that. He wants to know if you have any tips, about how to handle these kids when they're doing stuff like playing with the car and turning the lights on and off.
Well, okay.
He needs to handle himself.
You need to cool your jets, realizing that these are young people. They're doing the things that you already have done in the past, and it's a new thing that they're doing. Keep your cool. Believe you me, anger with children is not a good thing. How do you think he got the anger?
Well,
by simply listening to you and watching you.
Yes,
your anger.
I think that's a great thing. I mean, Dad, if and I'm sure you'll agree with this, but Ryan, if when you're faced with something that's a little bit weird and you're dealing with it with that type of strong emotional response, you will then be leading an example of if these kids have anything that makes them unhappy, they're going to think the way to handle it is through
Is just what you did to them.
So if you could somehow establish a playbook of what you need to do, try to make a game of it of, okay, these kids just did something. They broke a lamp. I'm going to count to 10.
Right.
It's not, size of the problem, size of the reaction. I know we joke about that on the show, but you got to understand, if you overreact, it's going to not only make for everybody having a terrible day, but they're going to remember this. So it's going to have a snowball's effect, I think. And there are, and that's about the extent of my knowledge on such a thing. I would assume if you need someone to help you, there's plenty of professionals who will help you cope with these little dust-ups that happen with the kids, because it's not going away. It's going to keep happening because that's what little kids do. And the quicker you wrap your mind around taking a step back instead of such a strong reaction, your kids will benefit, because then they'll see that, oh, this is how you handle adversity. You don't sit there and scream and act like a dum-dum. You gotta think it through. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you feel that way too, Dad. I think that's what you're saying, right?
At this point in my life, you're correct. You're right. Absolutely correct. At this point in my life, I realized what really teaches a young kid to yell and scream. A parent.
Exactly. That's why I go and try to kill 2 cats.
That's right. Hey, but I love animals, so don't drag this thing up.
Oh, I know. It was just that was just a callback to the joke.
I've never killed a cat in my life.
I know that. It just was a highlight moment when you mixed up kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
When you said you gotta kill 2 cats at the same time.
Now back to this issue. Please, put away your anger. Get your own help. Take care of yourself first. Become a normal person with kindness in you.
Right on.
A child learns much quicker and much faster with kindness and good, intelligent response to whatever they do that is so damn bad in your mind.
That's a great practice. It's a great way to look at it. I love it.
So,
okay.
Please, that's Ryan, right?
Yeah, that is Ryan.
Ryan, please, I'm not really condoning you for the things that you're doing, because I've done it just as well. But I learned as I lived.
Yeah, forget all that. If you did that in the past, no big deal. And then this way,
I still get angry.
This is one of the things. Ryan also said that he feels bad and he apologizes. You got to understand. Let's just say hypothetically, you do master this, and you then can let's say something terrible happens. You can start by saying, okay, you two. They're going to hate this if you do this. Say, okay, you're in trouble, but I'm angry at you right now, and I don't make any decisions when I'm angry. So go to your rooms for a few minutes while I just think about
That's a good thing.
Okay, so then they go there,
right.
and then you think of an appropriate response after you've calmed down to this. So then they're not going to like having to think about it. They're going to think, what's up with that?
Good analogy. I appreciate what you did there.
And then when you actually do implement an appropriate punishment for what happened that isn't laced with anger and rage and yelling and screaming, then you don't apologize for it. Then, though, probably one of the hardest things a parent can do is actually parent, because a lot of the times they feel bad for the kid. And if you apologize to the kid, basically you're undercutting your own decision to punish them in the first place. And that's not punishment. That's they're not learning. So No.
And they're learning that when they grow up, that when their kids do that, they're going to do the same thing you're doing.
Exactly. If you resist the urge to apologize, let them, and then maybe have a follow-up discussion after, you will then have now set an example of how it's going to be from that point forward, and how they can handle their problems when they become adults, or even in the classroom, stuff like that. So I know this all sounds like I'm like super intelligent because I'm taking my time.
Oh, you got good analogy. That's great.
I am the king of overreacting. So this is being said here, but I don't necessarily do all these things. I misstep all the time when it comes to this. I still to this day do not always respond appropriately to when I'm faced with something that's a problem. So this is easier said and done from your old pal, Eric. Okay. But I think But I do agree that does sound like a good way to do it,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to wrap it up there. You guys, I love you very much, and so does everybody else, okay?
I love you too, and I'm really sorry that we can't get together for a holiday, but this is the way things are, and we will get together.
Yeah. Well, it's 14 days until you're 87.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, as long as you keep that strict workout regimen of lifting piles of snow.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we don't have any more left.
You're going to be like ripped. You're going to be in great shape.
Hey, I am in good shape.
I know. I believe that. Okay. Well, all right. I love you guys very much. I love you, Joanne. I love you, Dad.
I love you too, honey, and love your audience. I tell you, they're wonderful people.
I know it. They're the best.
Keep up the good work with them, and hey, we'll talk to you next week, and hopefully we'll have better news.
No, it was good. It was good. All right, Dad. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much, okay?
All right. God bless you, honey.
God bless. Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Say hello to your dear one.
I will say hi to all of them for you. Okay.
Bye.
Watch out for the cats. Okay, see you.
Goodbye.
Okay, see you. Bye. There you go. Oh, yeah. Every episode, there's always one particular thing that stands out. That is Daisy snoring so loud. One particular thing that stands out, and to kill two cats at the same time, replacing kill two birds with one stone is this week's Clubhouse favorite. Last week it was I miss my fingers, I think is what he said. But there you go, Dear Meathead. That is a property, naming rights of JM Synthetics, Amsoil products. You buy them at JM Synthetics. The way to do it this way is like this. Okay, you go to jmsynthetics.com, pick out what you want. There's a number at the top for Jason Mays, and then you old school call him, and then you're like, hey, Jason, what's up, man? You're like, yeah, hey, I want the case of this, a box of that, and a bottle of this. Okay, I got it. I'll take care of the rest. That's how that helps Jason the most. Once you do that, let me know. And then you've got one in the chamber on Cameo. You've got a free Cameo from me and a free copy of any one of my vinyl records. Which I'm going to go grab a few and take a look at them. Hold on. Don't move. From time to time, I like to go and grab these. Thank you again to Jason Bigelow for the records years ago. Legendary. I'm going to give you a copy of Van Halen's Diver Down. What? Oh, this is a good one, man. Featuring, of course, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Their version of Pretty Woman with Eddie Van Halen's Intruder at the beginning of it. Just awesome. I got a lot of Van Halen, actually. Their second album, Van Halen, legendary. These are all great, great albums. Holy shit. Fair warning. You can get Van Halen. Yeah, I guess I pulled the Van Halen section. 1984, which is weird because the way they made the album, you see the baby, the angel smoking the cigarette, which probably wouldn't be allowed these days. You see the baby smoking the cigarette, and then if you were to turn it over, you should see the band, but you know what they did? It's upside down. All the four band members are upside down. That was a fuck up. There you go. Or their first album from 1978. And you know what's interesting about this album, 1978? This is the original album with Dave doing his super aerobics, wearing the disco boots. On the album cover, Michael Anthony is here playing the bass. Very young Michael Anthony. On the reissues of this, the record company took him out and put Wolf Van Halen, which is complete horse shit. And in fact, Wolf Van Halen said, well, why the fuck did you do that? That's my Uncle Michael. And I think that they were all pissed off about that. And I don't know why. It's like, well, they should be able to do something. Anyway, buy the stuff from Jason. Let me know. I'll send you a record, and I'll sign it if you want me to. Some of you actually had me sign it. I gave away a copy of Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, which was, that's a great album. And then what else did I give away? I gave one away to Adam. Was it it was Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. Great album. Holy crap. Okay, so that's with JM Synthetics. Let me promote that business of yours, okay? This has worked exactly as I planned when I started doing this podcast. 2 years, almost 2 years and 2 months to the day. Exactly. The plan was podcast daily, sell the hell out of it, and that's it, man. Live, okay? More on that in a second. I got a story about that. But if you want me to talk about your business and give you the reach of, better than any radio station that is around today, then you need to call upon me, okay? I will charge you pennies on the dollar compared to what radio would charge you for a bigger audience. I'm dealing with everybody on all of my live streams, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and not to mention all the numbers behind the audio downloads. That gives me a number. It's called an analytic, which I will tell you about as to how many people are paying attention to me as I sit in my dormer above my garage. I can put you front and center with my audience. That's why I've got all these signs behind me. That's why I talk about my sponsors. All you got to do is send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and I'll tell you how it works. There's no obligation on your part. That's just me telling you that this is what I do. This is how it works. You decide if you want it. F45 in Byron Center. They took the plunge a year ago. So happy to have them on board. If you want to get in shape, go to F45 in Byron Center. And you can work out for free for the first week to try it out. How about that? It's excellent. And that's where they get you because you're like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to love this. Letter F, the number 4, the number 5, f45training.com/Byron Center for 1 week free and see for yourself how it works, man. They are located right where the family fair is in beautiful Byron Center, Michigan. Growing community. Going to have to widen the roads in old Byron Center. A lot of people moving over to that area of West Michigan. Also, another great sponsor is Horizon Hydroponics, HORIZEN hydroponics.com. For you folks who grow stuff indoors, most of their clientele's growing cannabis. Okay, that's your thing. You need the right, ingredients or supplies to make sure that your harvest is bountiful. In Michigan here, it's like incredible. It's like the greenest state in the union. All of a sudden, it's an unbelievably decriminalized and deregulated business entity. And Horizon Hydroponics was there when they had to really thread the needle in order to make their products available. But they have a great online platform for you to buy stuff anywhere in the USA. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. If you have a question about a product, call the number on the website. They'll tell you exactly what's up. And if you have an order of $250 or over, the shipping is free anywhere in the USA. Okay? And then use the coupon code ZaneShow at checkout, save 10%. Or if you want, go to the brick and mortar locations, Alpine, Grand Rapids, Growers Outlet in Byron Center. And then, of course, in Lansing and Kalamazoo. Thank you, Horizon Hydroponics. Got some great news from Mario Flores, and that is Van Dyke Mortgage has the naming rights to the new Muskegon Convention Center. It is known as, and I wrote it down on, where did I write it? It's pretty easy to remember. I don't know why I'm even putting myself through this. Just say it, stupid. But I want to see if I can find it. The Van Dyke Mortgage Convention Center is what it is known as in Muskegon. I should have just said it. It is right next to what was L.C. Walker. That's now known as Mercy Health Arena. Okay? That's been redone. That's awesome. And then the convention center is, they're about to have an opening ceremony in April. And that's Mario. Mario has his name's on the sign. The Van Dyke Mortgage Convention Center, the big green emerald sign. Holy crap. He got a 10-year deal on it, man. So from now on, any type of the comic book show or the grocers convention or the LARPers union, that when they do an event at this awesome new convention center in Muskegon, you got to go to the Van Dyke Mortgage Convention Center. Mario's kicking so much ass. He's got the Muskegon branch, 2 offices in Muskegon. He's got a Grand Rapids branch. I think he's opening up one in Florida. He's going everywhere, not to mention the naming rights on the convention center. I am so proud of him. He also owns a football team, the Muskegon Ironmen, or the West Michigan Ironmen, which I am a part of, and I will be inviting you and giving you free tickets to those games coming up in April. It's all fucking great. Thank you so much to Mario and the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you want to help him out by patronizing him, you're helping me out too. 231-332-6505. 231-332-6505 for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Well done, Mario. Okay. Yesterday, in addition to the success of getting Jason, of getting my pal, who I'm not supposed to mention his name, in front of the judge and having a bit of success, getting his license back. We then did some stuff on our own, meeting-wise, 12-step-wise, and we worked out the get-to-work plan. It's just a lot of good things happening, and I'm just really, really proud of him for that. And I just wanted to throw that out there. And there's a bunch of dudes in the sober house who I'm really starting to like too. And here's the thing. I had fallen away from the 12-step program, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay plugged in, because you got to help others that are in the same damn boat as you. Because if they helped you as you were making your way through it, you're supposed to help them. I mean, I've been sober 25 years since June. When June hits, it's 25 years. It's a level of experience that needs to be shared about what they can do to help. And I've got women and men who are white knuckling it, and you got to help them. So that's what I'm really, really thankful for, to be able to dive back into this. And so I'm all in. This is like a super big focus of mine now. And I'm just very, very thankful. And I just want to help. So that's basically where that's going. That's the end of that. It was such a crazy thing yesterday. The reason why I took the day off was because not only that, but then I find out that Bruce here, he's got an ear infection, and he's shaking his head, and I'm like, oh man. So I got to get home from hanging out with dude, and then I got Bruce. He's got to be at the vet at 11:30. We get there, find out, he's got ear infections again. We have a strong indication that he's allergic to the food you're feeding him. You need new food. Okay, you're serving him chicken-based food. You got to serve him lamb-based food. I go, okay, great. She goes, be careful. The vet goes, be careful, though. Some of the lamb-based stuff, one of the main ingredients is chicken. I go, what? I thought it was lamb and rice. She goes, yeah, I know, but they trick you. They cheapen it up by putting chicken in. I'm like, oh, fuck. They go, make sure you read the ingredients. I go, okay, great. I buy the food. Fast forward a few hours. I didn't read the ingredients. Sure enough, I bought food. It says number 1 ingredient, lamb. Number 2 ingredient, chicken. Ah! So Bruce is allergic to chicken. Okay. So, all right, ear infection. Deal with that. No big deal. All right. So he's on medicine. Problem number 2 solved. Problem number 3, or thing number 3 is physical. So they did the blood work on me. I get my fat ass on the scale. Okay. Truth be told, I'm lighter now than I was last year at this time, but I think I'm fatter. I think I have less muscle and more fat. Okay. The doc sits down with me. This is my doctor. I've had him for years, and talking with me about the kidney, and he's looking at the creatinine number, which I was told has always been 1 for me. Now it's at 1.33. Normal once you give a kidney away. It turns out that the guy I give the kidney away, Jeffrey, he's under 1. My creatinine used to be at like 0.88, 0.90. So I'm like, he's got the lower creatinine number. And the doctor, you gave him the wrong kidney. It was just a joke. It's fine. That's very, very normal with people like me who are down a kidney, but that's likely going to come down after a year or so. because the one kidney is going to adapt even more and get back the functionality of the one I gave away. So right now, my kidney processing capacity is 50%. It'll be about 65% compared to what it was in a year, because it gets bigger. It actually gets bigger when you, for some reason, they've learned. Okay, no big deal. He's going over the stats, the doc, and he's like, okay, man, we got to talk this cholesterol. You continue to go up, and your HDL, the good one, is going down. And I go, yeah, well, I stopped exercising for a month. When you exercise, your HDL goes up. That's good. You don't want that to drop. Mine did. And I go, in a year, it'll be back. He goes, but look at the LDL. Your bad one. It keeps going up, Eric. Okay. He goes, you are at a 3.5% risk of a future heart attack. Most people your age are at a 2.2% risk. You want to be there. You're at a 3.5 risk of a fatal heart attack. That's still well below where we give you medicine to treat your cholesterol, but you have a higher than normal chance of having a life-ending heart attack. What do you think about that? And I'm like, okay. Well, I just recently really worked in oats, like seriously, like oats every day into my diet, because that should help. And then I've made a strong effort to greatly curtail the red meat. Okay, that's good too, but it's still going up. That's relatively recent. I go, okay, my goal is in a year, I got it. Because when I was doing triathlon in 2016, when that's all I did, he went over the numbers with me. Because right now my LDL is 145. In 2016, it was 88. That's like awesome. And he goes, every year, dude, you're just ticking up. You're not time bomb yet, but this is not good. You have got to turn this around. So I'm like, fuck. Okay, man, seriously. This is, you know what the hardest thing for me is? Staying reminded of that. Like right now, it's right in my brain. But in 3 weeks, when I'm sidling up to a plate of ribs or a hamburger, I'm like, I just forget. I should write reminders and put them all around the freaking house so that I can remember. Then he finished up by giving me, okay. Then he goes, okay, it says you were complaining about your spermatic cord. I go, yeah, doc, it still hurts to this day. He goes, all right, drop him. So he's touching my right nut, and I'm shaved like a baby. There's like no bush whatsoever. It's so weird. I'm like, God, I wish I would have let it grow out a little, because it's just weird for him to be on the business end of a penis and balls that looks like a little boy with not a bit of hair on it. And I'm like, why did I don't know. I just feel weird about it. I mean, I like having that. I like completely shaved, but I don't want him to see that I'm completely shaved. It's so weird. So he's like handling my meat, and he's like, okay, there's no tumors there. And then he touches my left one, and I'm like, He goes, is that the problem? I go, yeah, it still hurts. It still hurts he goes, that's going to take a while. It's because of the nerves. When they severed the nerves, getting rid of your kidney, okay, that pain radiates. So that's what's happening right there. It's just going to take a while. Nerves heal slow. So, I can withstand. He goes, does it hurt when you run? I go, nah, it's not a problem. I can still do stuff. It just, if I bump it, if I get a little too vigorous in the sex, it's like a real problem. And he's like, okay, yeah, well, I didn't talk about that. I'm only mentioning that to you on the podcast and Facebook and everything. But all right, so all good. And then he jabs me in the arm with a couple of shots. I got the flu and I got the shingles. Okay. And I don't know if I didn't look at the thing, because it gives you a little sheet. Here's the side effects. Yeah, whatever. I throw it in the back seat. Middle of the night, splitting headache. I'm like, God, what is going on here? It's terrible. Holy crap. Okay, so there's that. Now, navigated that. I'm thinking this is going to be good. Now I got to get my taxes done. I'm still wrapping my mind around this. But this is very tricky for me to talk about. And I don't, because I run the risk of you thinking, because I don't want this to sound braggy. But I have to give you the details of this in order to hear this really terrible thing that happened to me, this information that I got yesterday. Okay. But I sat down on Monday And I did a lot of math because I have to get my taxes done Tuesday. Now, the one number that I'm focusing on is gross income. So, doing the cameos, having the sponsors, doing the Patreon, that's how I eat, which you know that. And now year one, 2019, it was like, okay, I'm making it. It's a scrappy type of vibe. I'm very proud of that. And year two, that continued to work very, very hard. You all know how hard I work. You know how much time I put into this. You know how much energy I put into it. To be able for 2 years and just short of 2 months to be able to say, this is my job and this is what I've built. I'm very thankful. I'm never complaining, and I owe it all to you. I've made that very, very clear. I had no idea, though, how hard I was working, because I did the math and I went, whoa, oh my God, I had a great year. I worked very, very hard. And look at this. I'm looking at this dollar amount. And I'll just say this. I'm not going to give you the ultra specifics of it. But I am not starving in any way. I've worked very hard to get to this point. And yeah, it's a lot of work, but this is the way it is, and I'm proud of it and I'm happy. But I didn't know is that my last year on BBL, I had a contract that had been it was all right. It was enough to do okay, and I was happy. But what I had no idea was that the amount of money that I made in the podcast was a lot better than even my last year on the radio. No clue. I didn't keep track. Of that. Money came in, I paid bills. Money came in, paid bills. That's it. Okay. And it all, again, I owe it all to you. So awesome. Great. Okay. But then I had this sinking feeling, because the way this works is when you have Obamacare, you have to, when you're enrolling, you predict how much you will make. And then the government takes your number and they decide how much of a tax subsidy you get for the monthly premium for the healthcare plan. Do you follow me? So year one, I'm sitting here in this unfinished room, and I threw a number out that I thought I would make. Turns out I was under that number that I predicted. Well, the government takes a look at that number that you predict, and they give you this subsidy, a tax subsidy, based on what you're making. So you pay some of the health insurance, and then a tax credit, which they give you in advance because they know they're going to give it to you at the end of the year. They give it to you each month to pay the premium to the healthcare provider. So if my premium each month is $1,400 for healthcare, I'm paying $3,000. And that's available to anyone. That's how they base it. However, if you go over the amount that you predicted by a significant portion, you lose it. What you should do is you should pay attention to what's coming in during the year and adjust accordingly through the marketplace. You call them or you reach out to them. Hey, I need to amend this. And then you're paying a little bit more for the premium month by month. Because if you don't, something bad might happen. That happened to me yesterday. There isn't anyone listening right now who is going to pay the government more on April 15th than me. There's no way. The good news is the podcast is growing. Okay? A lot. And that is awesome. And there's no reason to think by what I'm looking at in terms of fishing lines in the water for various sponsorships that it won't continue to do so. The bad news is it grew so much, which I was not aware of till Monday, that I'm sitting there in front of the tax hobbit, and I don't want this to reflect on him. It has nothing to do with him. This is all me. And he's doing my return. And then all of a sudden his head shoots up. Now, on the computer screen, if he puts in all the variables while you're doing your taxes and then, it executes the form, you want to see black numbers. Well, there weren't any. They were all red. All of them. And he goes, oh, hey, oh, man, oh, God. And he's looking at the marketplace, healthcare.gov, the amount of money they gave as a tax subsidy. Because, again, the government, what I did was year one, I put, I guess I'll make this amount of money. And it worked. I made less than that. So I just assumed that would happen year two. It didn't. So the government is giving me this money to pay for health care. But I made too much. So the rule is you got to pay it back. And I learned that yesterday when the tax hobbit goes, oh no. I go, what is it? He goes, you're fucked. I bet y'all want to know your old pal Eric Zane. And let me just say going forward, because you all tend to kind of like do shit for me, and you do so much. Let me handle this. I've got this. It's okay. Knowing you guys, just like your TV from my dad, save your money and do not approach me with it, please. If you do, I will give it back. This is not your. I only say that because you do that for me, and I don't want that. I have no interest in that whatsoever. He goes, you owe $21,400. And okay, now you're like, how are you not freaking out? And I want to, but this medicine I'm on, I just started laughing. I felt the walls closing in on me a little bit. I felt a little bit of the panic, but this medicine's really great. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How come you aren't freaking out? I go, I don't know. I mean, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I always do. No big deal. He goes, I go, how much is it? He goes, I don't want to say it again. And I go, he goes, all right, this is what you're going to do. You owe Michigan $1,400. Pay them. All right. The 20 GER, the 20,000 that you're in to the federal government, you got to pay that back. I go, yeah, I get it. I know. I understand. Could be worse. The good news is I worked hard, and this is what you get. I should have been paying my own premium in full. I will pay for it. That's the way it works. The system is set up for those who can't afford it, and it's a great system. I don't flaw it at all, and I am not bitching about it in any way. That's the way it works. It just was a shock to the system. I should have been paying for the healthcare all along. I had no idea, so now I know. And he goes, oh, and we got to change your business structure. You got to be a, what did he say again? An S Corp. He goes, you're going to be an S Corp. I go, I don't know what that is. He goes, I'll take care of it. So now Tag is taking care of that. He goes, you have payroll now, and I'm the one doing it. And you're going to be the one employee. So now you have payroll. You'll be getting a certain amount of money every 2 weeks, just like a paycheck with taxes taken out of it. And then you're going to be paying your own health insurance. Oh, yeah, fuck. So, yeah, there you go. Your old pal, Eric. Whew. He goes, and then for the federal, what you do is you drop a ton of money on them to start, but you can't, and they'll give you a coupon book for the rest. So this isn't all, unless you got it all. I don't have it all in one lump sum. He goes, and then, but what you can't do is if you give them, like, say, $1,000, you can't give them 900 the following month. You can only go up. That's the way they work it. So, wow. Yeah, that was man, and that's the thing. It's Jocko. It's good. It's all Jocko. It's Jocko and the medicine. Because Jocko's motivation has me believing that whenever something is bad, you don't get frustrated, you don't freak out, you don't panic in every bad situation. there is something good. And so the good is, as you would imagine, that the show's growing. So, at the end of the day, I can just focus on that.
My guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on.
This
and
is
he'd
it.
say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good.
Love this every so often.
And finally, one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good.
That's what you always say.
He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah, when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on the other one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell,
Love this part.
you still got some fight left in you.
Yes.
So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right. So I learned. Get after it. Oh, my God. All right. So that's how you learn to kill 2 cats at one time. All right. So that was my day. That was a big kick in the dick. But, okay. It could be worse, man. I am just so delighted that the podcast continues to grow. I just wish I wouldn't have found out in such a strange way. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can figure that shit out. If anybody has that dollar amount beat, I would love to. I'd love to hear from you. Oh my God. Okay, I really appreciate all the comments. I got to go back and read all these. You guys are active today. That's a great bunch. All right. Jason, I love this. And this has probably been repeated about 1 million times in the podcast today. Just remember this, Eric. We are all there for you and each other. You have built a family here. I know. Well, I count my blessings every single day about all of you. You are also very, very dear to me. We have I do, without it sounding weird, it's an intimate relationship. We are all in this together, helping each other. Great group. Make me so happy. I love you all very much. Okay. I'm going to end up punting on the Seuss thing because today was weird because of the lost the internet feed on the first part of the podcast. That slowed me down. And I got 10:30. I've got a Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia game with Dale to take care of. So I'm going to save the Seuss thing for Patreon. Okay. And Cuomo, this asshole. Can you believe this shit? Oh, yet another chick has come out against him. I might be able to get that one in on this free podcast. But first, TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. What a fun entertainment attraction right here in West Michigan. As this pandemic continues to go on, there are more and more opportunities for people to gather now. From what I'm I heard yesterday 50% capacity at the restaurant. So that's kind of like where we are. Hopefully we'll continue to have momentum in Michigan. Everybody's been doing a great job. It's been a little kicking and screaming along the way, but still. TC Paintball, you can get together and have a great time. Bachelorette party, you get the bro friends together, get the ladies together, family reunion together. A great time can be had by all at TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. In fact, I talked with Rick yesterday. We are committing to a quick turnaround on Paintball War number 13. I don't yet have a name for it, but Paintball War number 13 is coming up. I believe that is Sunday, March 21. Yes, Sunday, March 21. We are doing Paintball War number 13. Let me double check that, make sure. Where are you? Was that an email you sent me or a text? Pretty sure he said the 21st. He goes, do you think we can make it happen? I go, I know we can make it happen. Sunday was awesome. That'll be a 5 p.m. start. Paintball War number 13, Sunday, the 21st of March. I know the usual suspects will be there. It's a time for newbies and people who used to attend and haven't quite gotten back. Walgrave, come on, man, make the trip. I want to see your beautiful face. Head down from Kalkaska and see us. Let me know, RSVP, if you will be in attendance for the Sunday, March 21, Paintball War number 13. Hold on a second. What did he say? First of all, impression of Kenny's girl is an instant classic. Perfect. Second, I never said it wasn't a podcast. I said, stop calling it a podcast. Call it a show. I do call it a show. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. I call it both. How many times I got to say it? He just wants me to call it the Eric Zane Show. He says, no one calls their radio show a radio show. How do you know? And no one calls their anything a broadcast. They call it a show. Hi, this is Eric Zane from the Eric Zane Show. Much cleaner. Disagree. Because it's not called the Eric Zane Show. When it was on the radio, it was the Eric Zane Show. Now it's Eric Zane Show podcast. All right. Yeah, and then he says March 21. All right, Rick. We're going to make that happen. Kent County Health Department, thanks to them for all their initiatives. And I love telling you about them. AccessKent.com/health for anything COVID related. I know Dirk goes there all the time. He gets advice so that he can do the right thing wearing 2 masks. AccessKent.com/health. COVID testing, where to get the shot, if you can get the shot. And did you hear the word that by the end of May, everyone in America will have a shot. Every adult will have a shot. That is great news. Merck teaming up with Johnson & Johnson to make it's awesome. It's like a wartime effort. AccessKent.com/health for all the COVID information you need, not to mention all the other vaccinations that your kids need. AccessKent.com/health. Do you want to start a podcast? I bet you do. If you do, this is what you need to do. Reach out to Hey Guys Media Group. They will teach you everything you need to know about how to do your podcast, edit it, post it onto a platform, take care of all the details that might fall through the cracks if you try to do this on your own. And it'll save you a lot of time because they're teaching you, okay? And this is the type of thing where they teach you, and that's what you pay for. And then eventually you do it on your own, and then you don't pay them anymore. If you want to start your own podcast, the thing to do is go to heyguysmediagroup.com. heyguysmediagroup.com for more information about how you can start your own podcast. Okay. So, all right, I apologize for this, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the emails of the day, and then I got to wrap up with a couple of sponsors. I'll try to get the Cuomo thing in, but I'm going to save the Seuss thing for the Patreon, okay? And I swear to God, I actually read. I read a absolute thorough accounting of Theodore Geisel's body of work. And I think it's going to surprise some of you because I did not know about this. And I just want you to hear me out before you cast any judgment on what I have to say about Geisel or Dr. Seuss on the Patreon. Okay, just please. It's gonna make perfect sense. If you can look in the mirror and say, "Yep, we should keep his work the way it is and not screw with it after what I tell you," well then, okay. Then you're lost. Then you're gone. Okay. All right. Totally kidding. Emails of the day brought to you by Forever Lawn West Michigan, online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. The amazing Allison writes this. Subject line, John Ballio. Ballio was the dude I mentioned earlier in the week who used to be on Morning Drive on one of the sweetest radio stations there is, WCSG. It's all about faith and making you feel good. And, every single bit of WCSG's programming is based on like good things. Everything is fantastic. Okay. It is a wholesome thing. The one thing you would never expect is to have a notorious child rapist on the air, but that happened. Balyo, if you don't know the story of John Ballio. It is so screwed up. I mentioned it earlier in the week. Allison heard me talking about it, and she writes, so, John Ballio. Holy hell, what a blast from the past with that name. That was in my life when I worked as a Fed. I worked on that case. What a scuzz. I worked on a lot of child exploitation cases over 8 years, and they were all awful. But if I remember right, he was extra scuzzy. I don't think he's going to see the light of day again. I'm pretty sure he got a state sentence on top of the 40 years he was handed federally. Well, that's good. I wrote back, did I forget you used to work for the government? I didn't know that. What did you do? The guy was a complete maniac from what I read. The whole double life thing was really, really strange. She said she worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office in GR. And up in Marquette before that, I made a hard right in my career. She now runs Harbor Humane. In 2015, LOL, life takes you to strange places, but my time with the feds was definitely interesting. Lots of stories. I'm not sure if I remember like 10 years ago when that dipshit couple from Marquette, I don't know if you remember this, were convicted for trying to extort John Stamos. I don't. I worked on that one too and got to meet John Stamos. That case was actually fun, opposed to the child exploitation cases, which were always real heavy. But yeah, he was a real winner. The creepiest ones are definitely the double life types, especially the ones that work for schools or churches, or Christian radio stations. Yikes. Oh, man, I cannot imagine being like the CSG staffers at the Christian Music Festival when the Stadies come walking in and arrest John Ballio on stage when he's like introducing the next Christian band. Oh, my God. Holy crap. That's tough to pick up the pieces. She also wrote this on your email of the day. Forgot to mention, you enriched my life via the podcast last week. Believe it or not, it was your story about Mr. Potato Head, which I totally agree is the dumbest marketing play I'd ever heard. Yeah, all that was them getting in the news, okay? Nobody plays with fucking Mr. Potato Head. That's why that was a news thing. It has nothing to do with them wanting to, whatever, be woke or cancel. They wanted people to buy Mr. Potato Head. She says it wasn't the substance of the story, but your pronunciation of the word potato. Whereabout, forgive me, I don't have Pellerito stats. I also probably just butchered the spelling of his name. Say 90% of the time you pronounced it potato, P-A-T-A-Y-T-A. My husband and I are in about a year 9 of an argument about the pronunciation of the word potato, because I too add a country flair and say potato. Well, he is Mr. Prim and Proper, insists the letter O appear in the word twice, and therefore it should be pronounced like that. But the other day I was able to tell him, well, Eric Zane says it this way, so, which admittedly did not carry as much weight as I hope, because he just said we were both wrong, but it made me feel better. See, Eric, you just never know when you're going to reach someone with the stories. Hugs and puppy kisses, Allison. Again, she works for Harbor Humane. That's what she's not hitting on me. She works for Harbor Humane. And I wrote, oh my gosh, potato is the only way to say that word. It's actually more work to say it the way your husband says it. Yeah, you can't say potato. Only an asshole would say potato. Potato? Or potato? Okay, if it's to the letter of the law, you got to say it potato. Fuck that. It's potato. That's how you say the word. Potato. Boy, I got to do because you, if I were to do a poll, you almost have to have it. Does it sound like this when you say it? Do you say potato? There's one of three ways. Potato, potato, or potato. Potato, potato, or potata. Potato. That's the way I say it. That's the way you should say it too. Allison's husband is dumb. All right. Last email of the day. Thank you to Tim Kuipers for sending in this. It is a screenshot of something he read on a dry erase board. He sent my way. It pertains to having to deal with Madison when she's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over something around this household, which I've detailed on this show many times. It says, an escalated adult cannot de-escalate an escalated child. This falls back into that dude who, I think it was, forgot who was asking for the advice on Dear Meathead about dealing with the kids. An escalated adult cannot de-escalate an escalated child. Side note, really is most important for escalated daughter under the age of 20. An escalated adult cannot de-escalate an escalated child. The advice is, parents, walk away, take deep belly breaths, splash water on your face, calm down, and then parent, respond, discipline, redirect, translation, make your wife do it, etc. So true. Thank you, Tim. Make sure you join me on the Patreon. I got smarter than a former drug dealer trivia in 16 minutes with Dale. Taking on Zaniac Chris. $5 or $10 a month. If you like it, get it for a full year, and you save 10%. And any of you can convert that anytime you want. Thank you. That's how I make the show go. That's how we keep the lights on. That's how the show continues to grow. Thank you for the past year. I'm very, very happy. You are awesome. Tag Accounting, that's where I got the bad news yesterday. 616-301-9516. I actually was scared to tell that story for fear it might put him in a bad light. But the way I told it, it was clear. He had nothing to do with it. But he said he's heard from so many of you who've gotten so many great results. He was heartbroken that he had to give me that news yesterday. Reach out to Troy for one of his many services, business taxes, personal taxes. He could run your payroll for you like he will be doing for the Eric Zane Show podcast going forward. 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting. Online at tagcpa.net. Get your cars repaired at Irvine's. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. For all of West Michigan. 616-532-6600. Servicing domestic, Asians, and imports. I'm sorry, domestics, Asians, and European, minus Volkswagen. And, of course, any hybrid that you need repaired, these are the experts. All the dealerships, they can take care of some basic stuff, but really, if it gets real, they call on Irvine's. They're the experts, constantly getting substantial upgrades in their training and expertise level. That's what they do. 616-532-6600. The website is ER, not IR. ERVINES, Irvines.com, to see their Google reviews. And then last but not least, BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. If you got weaponry, get it serviced at BK Guns and Stuff. Yeah. 616-902-2447. Anywhere in the USA. Check their Facebook page by going to my page, ericzaneshow.com, and click on their logo. Okay? You send the gun to them. It's going to get cleaned, repaired, customized, whatever you want. They take care of everything. Thank you to Benjamin and Kyle from BK Guns and Stuff. All right, let's wrap up with Andrew Cuomo. And this is the first time this has happened because he's winning this award. Oh, it got erased. Shit. Andrew Cuomo is getting the Asshole of the Day award for his efforts because you had the two women that came out already and said, he's asking me if I'm into sleeping with older men. He's asking me about my sex life. These people are just trying to do their work around the government offices in Albany. And you got this fucking old scuzzy maggot. He comes walking up to you and asks you if you like to sleep with old men. That's fucking gross, you fucking criminal. Fuck this guy. So, the two ladies came out. They're in their mid-20s, for God's sake. And then now there's a new one. This lady doesn't work at a government office, but she was at a wedding with this piece of shit. And he walks up to some chick. Her name is Anna Ruch, same as Sarah, Ruch. I think that's pronounced Rook. I always forget. And Cuomo goes, it's so good to see you. It's at a wedding in 2019. And this chick is like, hey, and he puts his hands on her face. And there's a picture. There's a picture of this moment. And he's got this look on his face like he's getting ready to get a boner. And she's got a look on her face like, actually his hands are around the back of her neck, okay? And he's looking at her. And he's got a big rod in this picture. And she has a look on her face like, just get me the fuck out of here. And in that picture, he walked up to her right after that. And then he said, can I kiss you? Ugh. The fuck? And someone else heard it. Someone is like an eyewitness who said, yeah, I heard that. It was way aggressive and weird. And then he put his hand on the small of her back, which with the formal wear she was wearing, it was exposed. There was skin there, and he put his hand on it. God, it's fucking creep. And then he asked if he could kiss her. Friend standing by heard it, and then he did it. He kissed her. He kissed her on the cheek, but he did kiss her. Rook says, I was confused, shocked, and embarrassed. It was not anything she wanted. I turned my head away and didn't have any words in that moment. This after the other two people, workplace sexual harassment. This is all fucked, man. And so now all these other Democrats have said, yeah, we're done with him. Fuck him. You add this on top of the nursing home thing, and everybody hates his guts over that. His approval rating is at like way low, and they all want him out. It's ugly. It is ugly. Cuomo's fucked. So screw this guy. Now, whether or not he's going to step down, but they're talking about impeaching him, impeaching the governor. So that would be fantastic. This guy is screwed. My God, what a story. Jesus, that is just sickening to me. Really, really gross. I can't imagine having the nerve to have that type of aggressive approach to women. And then in the one, he said, yeah, I want to play strip poker. Who wants to play strip poker? Whoever uses that in the repertoire of trying to get into bed with a young, hey, we'll play some strip poker. We can follow it up with some strip parcheesi, maybe some strip cribbage or some shit like that, or strip euchre. How about that? Just strip pinochle. We can play that. Who the fuck? Oh, my God. Fuck this guy. Okay, I'll be back in just a handful of minutes with Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. Thanks for the patience on the having a best of show yesterday. Thanks for supporting the show this long and making it the growth that we've had that I shared with you. It makes me very, very proud. Okay, gang, have a great day. Call me if you need anything. If any of you get in the weeds with any personal things, I'd love to help you out, man. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. We're all in this together. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.